Assalamu alaikum and good evening to you all. Today we are meeting in the class related to English literature. Hope you remember the last class things that we discussed. The last class we started our first poem we are having in the syllabus, The Eagle by Alfred Lord Tennyson. First of all, we spoke about the poet and we got some interesting matters about the poet, and then we moved into the poem. I think we only discussed about the first stanza of the poem. We briefly discussed about the first stanza. So mainly the poem The Eagle by Alfred Lord Tennyson has two stanzas. Each of them has 3 lines. So in the last class we discussed first 3 lines. So what did we discuss in the last class? Alfred Lord Tennyson. Alfred Lord Tennyson is a Victorian poet. He was born in England, 1809 August 6th. He was a very talented writer, poet, because at the age of 12 he wrote 6,000 line epic poem. So we can say he showed an early talent for writing. We all discussed about that as well. And in the Victorian era, means when the Queen Victoria ruled the country England, the poet started to write his poems. That's why we call him as Victorian poet. In Victorian era, a movement called Romanticism was very much popular among the poets. We also discussed about that as well. So Romanticism means the particular poets lived in Victorian era. Most of them used the movement called Romanticism, which means they appreciated nature. They consider about the nature as a beautiful thing. So they converted all kind of ideas about the nature and they admired the nature. But the particular poet we discussed about, we discussed earlier also, a Victorian poet, but he didn't use the movement called Romanticism. Even though he talked about the nature in this poem, we discussed The Eagle by Alfred Lord Tennyson. He spoke about the nature as well, but he didn't admire the nature. That's why we say that Alfred Lord Tennyson is not a poet who used the movement called Romanticism. So briefly we discussed all the things about the poet. Then we moved into the poem. The eagle is there. So first of all, the first line start with the pronoun he. So we can say already the title, the eagle is the title of the poem we discuss. So the eagle means the poem. The two stanzas are going to talk about the bird called eagle. So the title of the poem clarifies that. So we can come to a conclusion that the whole poem is going to be about the eagle. But the first line of the poem starts with the pronoun he. Normally, no one call eagle as he. We should mention the eagle as it. But we didn't find the pronoun it. The only one pronoun he was there. So we can say the poet has used the poetic techniques personification there. So that's why he called eagle he as he. We all know the bird eagle is not a human. It is an inhuman thing. But he added the human traits to that eagle. So he started the poem with the pronoun of he. We discussed about that as well. So then the eagle, because he thought that eagle is a powerful bird. Eagle is not just a bird. Eagle is a powerful bird, which means the human is the powerful creature in the world. So he added the human traits to eagle in order to convert the idea that eagle is also very much similar to the human, which means Eagle also a powerful thing, powerful creation. So he added the human trace to eagle. That's why he started the poem with the pronoun of he. Then the eagle is standing on the top of the mountain. So the top of the mountain is called in the poem as crag. Crag means the cliff. Top of the mountain is very very sharp. In the sharp position, the powerful bird eagle is standing. So discuss about the shape of the legs. The eagle's legs are very much unusual shape. In unusual shape, which means shapeless. So that is kind of its legs. So with its crooked hands, crooked legs, the eagle is standing on the top of the mountain. He tightly holds the top of the mountain, which means the cliff. Then there are nobody. The place where the eagle standing is not the place surrounded by the people. There are no one. There are no anything. So without the help of anything, the eagle can close to the sun. We discuss about that. Close to the sun in lonely lands, which means the poet Alfred Lord Tennyson added an exaggeration in that line. Close to the sun in lonely lands. Anything can't close to the sun because all know that sun is a very much hot thing which destroys almost everything. So even the powerful creature in the world, human can't do that. But the poet says that eagle can close to the sun, eagle can go near the sun. It is an exaggeration, which means the the mountain is very much higher. So the mountain is going to touch the sun. Like that he is trying to say in that line. Close to the sun in lonely lands. Lonely lands means I discussed. Lonely land means there are no one. Without the help of anyone, the bird lonely can go near to the sun. We discussed about that. Then we discussed about the surrounding of the sky. In the middle of the sky, the sun is there. The powerful bird eagle is going to nearby the sun, and the deep blue sky, azure world. We discussed about that as well. Deep blue sky is surrounded by the sun. Quickly we took a revision for the last class. So from here we are going to discuss about our next stanza. This is the poem that we are discussing. So we are going to discuss about the second stanza. This is the second stanza that we have in the poem. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. He watches from his mountain walls, and like a thunderbolt he falls. So then the poet discusses about the sea, the wrinkled sea. First of all, we can write all the meanings of those difficult words. We have wrinkled. Then we have the word called crowds. These two words are there in this stanza. Wrinkled means we all know without ironing a shade, the shade will be look alike fold, and without a proper shape, the shade will be depicted. So then we can see the skin of old human. When we are growing as adult, the skin of ours will be what you call fold. So there is no point of explaining that because we are discussing about the poem. So all know what will be the skin of the old human or human. The skin of the old human will be without shapeless and it will be transparent like that, it will be showed. So the wrinkled sea, the sea also looks alike the skin of the old human. So which means when a human grows up and up, the human fails to have the nutritions and it doesn't have the strength. The human doesn't have the strength. That's why his or her skin becomes a different thing. So we can say the old human's skin is very much folded and there is a நாசெல்லாம் சுருக்கமாக்கி இருக்கிறண்டு சுருங்கி இருக்கிற அந்த தோல் மாதிரி அந்த பழைய ஆக்கள்கிட்ட கை இருக்கும் வயசான ஆக்கள்கிட்ட. So we can say the old human doesn't have enough strength to attack with others and the old human doesn't have the proper nutrition. That's why his or her skin becomes like that. That's like that we can say here the wrinkled. So I have written the meaning for the difficult word wrinkled. Like the shade without ironing. The fabric or the shade will be shown like a folded and there will be cracks in the fabric. So the last like the shade without ironing. When the shade is ironed, it will be look nice. But here the shade is not ironed. So some fold and strikes are shown in the shade. Like that, the sea is there. We can say the another example also. Old skin. Skin of the old human. So when a human grows up and up, he or she will definitely lose nutrition. So the old human can't have a proper nutrition and the old human doesn't have enough strength. So the sea beneath him crawls. Him means he already we can already we have discussed that him means the eagles. Already the poet Alfred Lord Tennyson has provided the human trace to the eagle. So him means the eagle. All know that. So the wrinkled sea beneath him. In the top of the mountain, the eagle, the powerful eagle is standing. In the beneath of him, the sea is there. See, the mighty ocean is there. In comparison, the sea is the big thing, more powerful thing. It can make tsunami like that. It is having the power than the eagle. But the poet tries to tell that the wrinkled sea doesn't have the strength. Sea is powerless, which means wrinkled. We discussed that the old human skin will be shown with the fold and strikes and strikes. So, which means it clearly tells that the old human doesn't have enough strength, or the old human has lost his or her strength. So here wrinkled we can say that it will be also shown like the shade without ironing, but also the proper meaning we are going to say here is the old human skin. So the old human skin will be folded, which means it clearly tells that the old human has lost his or her old strength. Like that, the sea, mighty ocean, the sea which makes tsunami and all kind of disasters, has lost its natural strength. That's why the word wrinkled use is used here by the poet. The wrinkled sea beneath him crowds. Here crowds also Here crowds is also taken into consideration. Crowds means we all know how a baby is walking. Actually, the born baby, or else we can say the at the age of 1, a baby can't walk properly. It will crawling. It can't walk properly. Uh, Sometimes it will walk and it will have fallen. Like that, the way the baby tries to walk. That's why here the poet tries to say crowds. Crowds means the way the baby tries to walk, which means the baby can't walk properly because just now the baby is trying to grow. So the baby is not grown fully. So the baby doesn't have the proper strength. Here also the poet tries to come with an argument that the old human has lost all the strength. See, in the last word of the line, crowds. Here also the crowds means the small baby walking. The way the small baby tries to walk. So crowds means the small baby also doesn't have the proper strength. Just now it is growing. So when the baby full when the baby is fully grown only, the baby can walk properly. But here the baby is crawling, which means it can't walk properly, and sometimes it tries to fall. So there is no strength in that baby. So the baby also has lots his strength. And the old man, which means the wrinkled mean the skin of the old man, or else we can say this like the shirt without ironing. So the old man also has lost his strength. Here the two words, both of them are represented by the sea. Here the Alfred Lord Tennyson is trying to say that sea also lost its strength, and the sea doesn't have enough strength. So all know sea is a very huge thing. Sea can destroy all the thing, and it makes also tsunami also. So we all know. But in the top of the mountain, the eagle is standing. The beneath of him, the sea is there. From these two things, which is more powerful? The sea, we can say that sea is more powerful because eagle is just a simple bird. When it compares with the sea, it is just a simple bird. But sea is a huge thing. It can destroy all the thing, and it can make food like that. So, but the poet doesn't say like that, because we can't say that sea is more powerful thing than the eagle in this poem, because the poet has told that sea is not having the proper strength, and it has lost its strength. That's why the word wrinkled crowds used here. Wrinkled crowds. Both of them are representing that the less of power, the less of strength. So the sea doesn't have the enough strength to play with the eagle. That's why the poet tries to say. Here crowds means the way a baby tries to walk. So both of them, the old man, a small baby, both of them are representing the less of the strength. So as a point we can say she has lost its strength or power. The word power is more suitable than the word power is more suitable than the word strength, because the poet talks about the power in the whole poem. So the eagle, beneath the eagle, the mighty ocean is there. Sea. All know sea is the bigger thing than the eagle, because eagle is just a simple bird. Sea is the very much a big thing. It can make all the destructions and all. So, but the poet doesn't try to say like that. He used the word wrinkled crawls. The sea is crawling, which means sea is walking like a baby. So it clearly tells that the sea even can't walk properly. Walk means the sea, the movement of the sea. The sea moves slowly and slowly like a baby. So when it compares with the baby, baby doesn't have proper strength. Just now it is growing and growing. So the baby is not fully grown. So the baby just now growing and growing, and sometimes the baby can walk little by little, and then the baby can fall, which means the baby can't walk properly. Like that also, the sea also crowds. Crowds means like that. Sea also moving slowly and slowly. She can't move properly fastly like a baby, which means baby means the sea has lost its strength. She doesn't have any strength. That's why it moves slowly, crawls. Then we are going to move into the next line. He watches from his mountain walls. Mountain. He means he also whenever the word he, whenever the pronoun he comes, we all have to notice that he refers to the eagle, because already we have discussed that Alfred Lord Tennyson has provided the human trace. He had added the personification in the poem. So he means he refers to the eagle. He watches from his mountain walls. Mountain is very much similar, very much easy to understand, because already we have discussed that the eagle is standing on the top of the mountain. So mountain is not a word difficult to understand. Mountain walls. Here the word walls is very much important. Walls is a difference to a country. When the wall is there, the wall divides an area into two places. So from the here we can think that here the wall is there. Um, it has divided the area into two places. From this place, no one can enter into other side. So the wall provides a protection to a country or else a particular area. So protection. So he watches from his mountain walls. Mountain walls means the protection is mentioned. Here we can write that protection. The eagle not only has power but also has protection. It provides protection to a country or else the area where the eagle stands. He watches from his mountain walls. He carefully watches whether there are some kind of dangers to us. Like that, the eagle watches. Protection. Walls means, and I already taught that wall is there. Wall is there. It divides the area into two places. From this place, no one can enter into other place. From that place, no one can enter to this place. So it provides, walls provide some kind of protection, which means the eagle in the poem we have to understand that eagle provides the protection, the particular area. We talked about the lonely lands, which means they are nobody. Why they are nobody? Because eagle has provided the protection. Then we are going to conclusion, protection. So the eagle carefully watches um, whether some things create dangers. Like that, it watches. He watches from his mountain walls. Walls means the protection. Mountain walls, his mountain walls. The mountain is belonging to him. The mountain wall, the mountain is the mountain of the eagle. The eagle is the owner of the mountain. Like that, the poet tries to mention. And like a thunderbolt, he falls. This is the last line we are discussing. Before that, before it falls, it just watching. It is just watching. We can't exactly say that the eagle is watching for a prey. It can be anything. The eagle can watch here, watch down because of any reasons. We can't exactly say, but after that, after it has watched, suddenly it falls. He falls. So eagle was watching from its mountain wall, which means with the provider with providing the protection, it was watching from its mountain. So we no one know what the eagle might watch. And like a thunderbolt, he falls. From a kind of imagination, we can say it is kind of an imagination. The eagle might have watched a prey. After watch that, it is fastly falling down to catch that prey, because the eagle is just now hungry and it tries to catch a prey and tries to eat that. We can say before the eagle watched the prey. Afterwards that, he quickly comes down, which means he quickly falls down in order to catch the prey and eat. So he watches from his mountain walls. The eagle also provides the protection. At the same time, it watches whether there are any kind of prey. Fortunately, the eagle has watched the prey and it has fallen down in order to catch the prey. Here, in the poetic devices, I taught you like. The like word like has come. Like a thunderbolt. Whenever the word like comes in a line, we call this as simile. Simile. Like a thunderbolt. The eagle didn't fall slowly. Thunderbolt mean we have to know what are the features are in the thunderbolt. The thunderbolt arrives quickly, fastly. The thunderbolt has the power to destroy all the thing. And also the thunderbolt has the power. Like that we can say the S feature of the thunderbolt. Like a thunderbolt. Like that the feature, the eagle has all the feature of the thunderbolt. That's why the poet says that like a thunderbolt. Like a thunderbolt, the eagle falls down. The eagle fastly falls down. The eagle fastly falls down. Yes, it can destroy all the thing. Thunderbolt is a nature. So thunderbolt is represented by the eagle. When the eagle falls, it seems like the thunderbolt arrives. So which means the eagle fastly falls and the eagle uh, comes down in order to make some destroy into that in that particular prey he watched earlier. So this is why the poet tries to say in this line, like a thunderbolt. Hmm. So we can say already we have discussed in the first class, in the previous class, the eagle is the creation of nature. So eagle is represented the nature. The eagle represents the nature. So the eagle is falling down fastly as making all kind of destruction to everything. It is also similar to nature. That's why we said that the poet Alfred Lord Tennyson talked about nature, but he didn't admire. From this line, we can say Alfred Lord Tennyson considered the nature as a distraction. That's why the word thunderbolt used here, which means he is tries to say the eagle makes distraction. The eagle fastly arrives and makes distraction, which means nature makes distraction. Nature is a distraction. It destroys, nature destroys all the thing. So from that we can say Alfred Lord Tennyson didn't use the movement called romanticism, which means he didn't appreciate the nature. He considered the nature as a distraction thing. That's why he tells that like a thunderbolt, the eagle arrives down and making all kind of distraction, which means the nature is a thing to distraction, making all kind of distractions. So we can come to a summary also. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. Beneath the eagle, the mighty ocean is there. All know the sea is the more powerful thing than the eagle because sea can make distraction, sea can make tsunami and disaster, natural disaster. But the poet no, that didn't tell like that. He tells that sea is less power. Sea is having the less power than the eagle because the two word for the loss of the strength are mentioned. Wrinkled crowds. Wrinkled means the skin of the old human. Crowds mean the way a baby tries to walk. So both of the words are representing the less of the strength. So the sea doesn't have proper strength, which means when the eagle and sea are compared together, the eagle is the more powerful thing than the sea. He watches from his mountain walls. The next line. He watches from his mountain walls. Walls means we already discussed that wall provides some kind of protection into the particular area. So the eagle also provides some kind of protection to the lonely lands. That's why no one didn't come. No one come to the world. And also it carefully watches. It might have watched that whether there is a prey to catch or like that. He watches from his mountain walls. He carefully watched in order to catch a prey. Finally, it looked a prey and like a thunderbolt fastly because the eagle is hungry. That's why he fastly arrived down and catch the prey. Here, the thing catching a prey and eat, the matter is not mentioned here, but we can imagine. That's why the poetic device we have the imaginary, so we can imagine. So after he had watched the prey, like a thunderbolt, the eagle creates the destruction, and also it arrives fastly down in order to catch that prey. Like a thunderbolt, it is a simile, which means because the word like is coming in front of that line. So like a thunderbolt, we all know what are the features there in the thunderbolt. Thunderbolt means the thunderbolt arrives to the world very much quickly, and it creates the disasters, and it creates destructions to almost everything. So thunderbolt is referring to eagle. Eagle comes down. Eagle creates destruction. Eagle comes quickly. So already we discussed that eagle is representing the nature. Finally, we can say nature is a thing. Nature is a thing to create destruction in the world. So this is the mindset the poet had. That's why he converted this kind of idea. Otherwise, the old poet lived in Victoria era, used the movement called romanticism. As a result of that, they convert all kind of beautiful ideas about the nature. They convert each and every beautiful ideas about the nature. They beautified the nature. But here the particular poet Alfred Lord Tennyson didn't use that, because in the final line we are discussing that he strongly tells that nature is a thing to destroy all the thing. So it is not a appreciation. He didn't appreciation. It is a negative side to nature. He converts the negative shade of the nature. So it is not appreciation. We can clearly understand that here the nature is talked about. The nature is talked by the Alfred Lord Tennyson. But the nature is talked in a negative way, which means Alfred Lord Tennyson tells that the nature, which means the nature is represented by the eagle. Eagle makes all kind of distractions to the world, and also it fastly comes to down in order to catch the prey. So the catch will definitely die. That's why it creates some kind of distractions to a living being. So eagle is representing the nature. So finally he tells that nature also a kind of thing which makes destruction, which destroys almost all the thing. It can be living thing and non-living thing. This is the final idea that we got from this poem. So I hope you all have understood very well in this class. So from this class we have finished our first poem, The Eagle by Alfred Lord Tennyson. So hopefully we have studied the summary of the poem and the theme. Theme is that what is the theme of this poem? The nature is a thing which destroys almost everything. It can destroy the living being and non-living being, which means the eagle comes down in order to catch the prey. The prey will die. So the particular bird or the particular living thing will be died. So it is a destruction to the world. That's why the poet tried to say. So the main theme is that here the nature is a thing which destroys almost everything. After that, in the next video, we can discuss about the poetry techniques. Here and there, I mentioned the poetry devices used in the poem, but we have to understand that in a brief manner. So we can study that in a next video, which means we can study all the poetry techniques used in this particular poem in the next video. If you haven't subscribed our channel, please go through the subscription and do subscribe. Thank you for watching.